Good morning. Good day. Good day to you. Today we are talking about some improper things. This is called an improper fraction. It's improper because the numerator is larger than the denominator. And what that tells us then is, normally we think about a fraction as something between 0 to 1. Okay? But this fraction, 7/2, is larger than 1. And so the question becomes, how do we convert this in what we would call its simplest form, that is, in its proper form, which is a mixed numeral, a mixed number. And so what we say to ourselves is like, well, this is bigger than 1. There's 7/2. What does that look like exactly? Well, watch. Here's 2/2. Here's 4/2. Here's 6/2. And then finally, here's our 7th half. So 1, the number 1 is buried in there in this form. There's 3 of them and 1 more half. See that? Now the other way we can do this is, let's go back to the same exact number, improper fraction. We could also draw it. If you just quickly sketched out, you can see there's 7/2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7/2, and therefore, again, it's 3½ is the same exact number. So they're the same number. And sometimes we do want fractions in improper form. It's easier to multiply, possibly, or divide, rather than use the mixed number. But more often, we're going to probably want them in a mixed number. Okay, there's a mixed number, mixed. We call it mixed because it's a whole number and a fraction. Let's say we have 3½ Now, how do we do it the other way? How do we make it into an improper fraction? Okay, we simply say to ourselves, well, in this 3, there's that many halves. Agreed? Here's 1, 2, 3. Always using the denominator as our denominator. As you know, this is the magic 1 kind of guy. This is 1. He's buried right there. Now, the other way to do it is just to simply say 2 times 3 and then add on our 1 at the end. Because 2 times 3 gets us those 6. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So this equals 7/2. So now, watch this. Let's say that I have a different fraction, improper. Let's have 8/5. Okay. Well, again, let's think about it. In here is 5/5, and what's left over? 5/5, there's 1, plus what more do we need? This is just an addition. Okay, so this equals 1 and 3/5. Now, if you look at it this way, this is division. 8 divided by 5. 5 goes in there 1 time. There it is. There's my 5/5. There it is. Okay, and 3 would be left over. Conversely, 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So that's how you do these two. That's how you convert them back and forth. Let's watch this one. We've got, let's go for, how about 9/4? If we had 9/4, think about it. 4 goes into 9 how many times? You know your math facts. And what's left over when you do that? 4 goes into 9 twice, which is 8. And there's going to be 1/4 left over. And again, if you need to draw it, it's 4/4 plus 4/4. Here's the 8/4 plus 1/4, and you can see there's your 9. Okay. Now, what if we had a mixed number? We want to change it. If we had 5 1/3, we want to change that into an improper fraction. 5's getting big now. This is why I don't really want to draw out 3/3. Then what's going to look like is this. I don't want to do this. It takes too long. So the simpler way is just to multiply it. And there's, sorry, I'm a little bit sloppy because I'm going fast. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. 5/3. How many is that? Add them up. Plus 1 more third. It's 3 times 5 is 15, plus the 1 is 16/3. And that's how improper fractions and mixed numbers relate. So let's say I have 7 and 1/8. So here's where we start to get a little bit bigger. I don't want to draw 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8 7 times. I'd rather just say 8 times 7 plus the 1. 8 times 7, knowing my math facts, plus this one more is 57 eighths. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 1 is 57 eighths. So when our fractions get bigger, we don't want to draw all the diagrams out. We'd rather just use the quick math facts to rework them. Let's say that we have a bigger one. Let's say we have a 51 sixths. 51 sixths. Now we're thinking 6 goes into 51. How many times? We know our math facts. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 8 is 48. And then what's left over? 6 times 8 is 48. 3 more, right? Now here's an interesting thing. 51 sixths now is 8 and 3/6. But what is 3/6 really? We want to simplify that. Its simplest forms. We're looking for the magic one to simplify 3 over 3. So this is really 8.5. If you look at this, 6 times 8 is 48 plus 3 is 51. But watch this. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17. Turns out that we could have divided by 3 on both these right off the get-go. 17 times 3 is 51. But that's not always easy to see. But at the end, we always want to simplify. Okay? So here's your task. You are going to convert that to a mixed number. That to a mixed number. This to a mixed number. Right? And let's go. Oops. That to a mixed number. And you just use division. 2 goes into 3 one time. There'll be 1 left over, so that's 1.5. If you need to pull out the 2 over 2, you can do it that way, or the 4 over 4 over here. 2 over 2 over here. It gets a little bit bigger, but really it's easier to use division. 11 divided by 2. Numerator divided by denominator. Okay. Now you are going to convert these into improper fractions, multiplying 3 times 2 plus the 1. Okay. Ready? Still with me here? Don't wander off. Don't leave. Okay, let's go a little bit bigger on this one. We're going to go 3/7. And then number 8 is your name. Okay, you're going to want blank piece of paper folded so that you have 4 sections on each side. You'll do those problems. Work with others if you'd like. Raise your hand for help if you need it. Or you watch the video a little bit if you want. All of those things will help you in mathematics.